Good morning, everybody. Charlie here with Red Summit RF. Well, welcome back to the channel, and today we will be hiking to the top of Apache Butte. This is a two-point summit just north of the Phoenix metro area in Cave Creek, and it's a summit that I have not activated before, so it'll be a new one for me, which I'm looking forward to. It'll be a good adventure for me. I don't know if you can see over my shoulder the snow on the mountains, but we've received a lot of snow over the last several weeks, and it's become almost impossible to get to some of the summits that I enjoy activating at this time of year, which is early spring. So we'll go ahead and hike to the top of this. It'll be a road for a part of the way, and then it'll be off-road hiking after that and into the bushes. And we will get on top, and on top I am going to talk a little bit about a tuner that I have, another tuner. This will be my third one I'm trying out, so stay tuned and we'll talk a little bit about that when we get on top. Well, I'm nearing the top of what I thought was going to be the end of the road, and then I was going to have to bushwhack over to this high point over here, but it looks like there's a road that goes all the way to the top of this summit. All right, everybody, we're on the top. So, first order of business, I'm gonna get out that 2-meter radio and make contact with my friends out that way in the Phoenix area, off where the haze is. So let's get that done.
Whiskey 7, Oscar Tango Delta, CQ, 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 Whiskey 7, Oscar Tango Delta, CQ.
Whiskey 7 Oscar Tango Delta, November, Juliet 7 Victor.
You are a 5-9 onto Picacho Peak, Papa November 077.
Okay, roger that, roger. Whiskey 7 Oscar Tango Delta, November Juliet 7 Victor. You're 5-9 also, 5-9 from Mike November 095, Apache Butte. Mike November 095, over. This is November Juliet 7 Victor, Mike November 095. Mike November 095, you are 5959.
Thank you very much.
73.
NJ7V, W7 USA.
W7 USA, NJ7V 59.
59, Charlie, thank you.
Thanks, 73.
K7 TAB. Whiskey 7 Oscar Tango Delta CQ SOTA.
K7 TAB 59.
Roger, Roger, 59 as well. Thanks, Charlie.
Nice to hear from you, Chris. N7TSX, is that Tango Sierra X-Ray?
Delta Sierra X-Ray. Delta Sierra X-Ray. You're 59 in Queen Creek.
November 7, Delta Sierra X-Ray 59 here on Apache Butte. Mike November 095.
Thanks, Charlie. Have fun. 73.
73.
N7TXT.
N7TXT, good morning, Paula. How are you?
I'm fine, Charlie. How are you?
Hey, doing good. I'm not far from you, I guess a little north.
Not too much. You're booming in here at 59.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. Okay, thanks, Paula. 73 to you.
Charlie, are you going on 1296?
I sure am, right after this.
Cool. Pete wants to know. He's on the phone right now, but he wanted me to ask you. Okay, cool. We'll meet you over there. See you later.
K7 Oscar Tango Delta CQ SOTA. 7 p.m.
This is NJ7V. We have two stations here calling CQ. So who are you calling?
NJ7V and 7 p.m.
N7PN 59.
Yeah, you're also 59, Charlie, 73.
Thank you, 73. Hey, Whiskey 7 Oscar Tango Delta, are you getting any of these contacts? Are you hearing anybody other than me?
I am not hearing anyone. I'm hearing them making the call to you. They're not coming back to me, so try to switch over to probably 14 advance.
Okay, or I can stand by here for a minute. Call CQ a few times, see if they can hear you.
Yeah, Charlie.
Sounds like they can hear you. Go ahead and call CQ. All right, everybody, let's talk about this antenna tuner. Before I do, let me just mention there's a couple airports around here, so you'll hear planes flying around all day while I'm doing my Summits on the Air activation. You just got to take what the Summit gives you and just work with it, so I apologize for that. I have, in the past, worked with two different antenna tuners. I started off and tried out the MTech ZM2, and I activated a time or two with that antenna tuner with the K6ARK random wire, and I really liked that tuner. Then I acquired the MFJ 9201 QRP pocket tuner, and I just recently tried that out on a few summits and enjoyed using that as well. So now we're on to the third one. Let me grab it here, and that's this one here. It's the ATU-100. Let me just kind of show you what it looks like here. So I acquired this last antenna tuner because a friend of mine, Ray, W7 USA, was talking about it on our local Simplex chat we usually do for Summits on the Air guys. And he said that he got it off eBay for under $60. And he just brought it to our attention, so I went and looked at it, and I thought, you know, I might want to buy this and try it out because it's an automatic tuner rather than a manual tuner. And so I went ahead and purchased it off of eBay for $64. It was actually $63.90 something, and it came pretty quick. I've since learned that Steve, temporarily offline, and Sean from Ham Radio Dude, recently, well, about a year ago, received one of these antenna tuners from Banggood, and they reviewed it and went through and were pretty thorough about it. So I'll put a link to their videos up here in my video, so you can go back and check those out as well. So you have the ATU-100 available, but there's also an ATU-10 for QRP. They're roughly about the same cost, and you can find them both either on eBay or on Amazon or Banggood or even some of the other AliExpress or some of the other websites. And so direct purchase, it just depends on which vendor you use. Additionally, these come as a kit, or even you can homebrew them. Originally, it was a homebrew design by N7 DDC, and he provided the schematics and everything like that. You can find that in a link below in a GitHub repository. And so thought I'd try it out. Automatic tuner, maybe good for QRP, even though I've got the 100-watt one. And so we're gonna try it out. One thing I can tell you right off the bat that I'm not gonna like is are these SO239 connectors. I prefer the these BNC connectors. They're smaller and just easier to use. So that's one thing downside. I think they may you may be able to swap these out. You have to open up the case and swap out and put some BNC ins if you have some skills. But yeah, I don't think you can buy them with BNC, which is a downer to me. So anyway, let's get the antenna set up, and then we'll string it out and get it tuned up. I hear 10 meters is on fire right now, so we'll maybe try 10 meters first and then go from there. Okay, so once again we'll use the antenna mast from Pactena, and we'll get that up and running. And then we'll use the K6 ARK random wire. So let's get that going. Alright, so I was worried about the fact that I forgot the converter for this PL259 to the BNC. I was worried about that'd be a short video if I had forgotten that, but I luckily had an extra in my bag, so we're still in shape. Alright, so we have the antenna plugged in here, and it's going out there, out that direction. And then we have the counterpoise that way, and then we have a jumper cable into the FT817. So we're good to go, it looks like. Let me maybe scoot this antenna tuner up over the top of the radio. Alright, let's put the turn the radio on. Alright, let's go to AM or to sideband and go up to 10 meters. Unlock it. Alright, so looks like we have maybe an opening here at 28367.5. Let's turn on this tuner. And what we do, looks like you're not going to be able to see it that great because of the cycling of the screen, but we'll give it a try. What I do first is I push it once to reset it, and then I push and hold, and then I need to go to AM here. All right, looks like it's going to be a 1 to 1.3 to 1 SWR. Looking good. All right, now I'm going to go back to upper sideband. Oops. Is this frequency in use? November Juliet 7 Victor. CQ, CQ, CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA, November Juliet 7 Victor calling CQ.
Whiskey, Whiskey 7 Delta.
Whiskey, Whiskey 7 Delta, good morning Daryl, you're 5'9".
Good morning, Charlie. You are about a 5x3 near Seattle. Thanks for the activation. 73, have fun up there. WW7D.
Okay, thank you, Daryl. 73. November Juliet 7 Victor QRZ. All right, so let's tune this. This is gonna be 40 meters, and I'm on CW right now. I'm gonna change the mode to AM, and then I'm going to push this tune button over here a couple times. One to reset, and then hold it down, and then key up the mic. And it looks like 74% efficient, and there's the SWR. Looks pretty good. Now let's switch on back to CW, and let's go ahead and start calling. Okay, everybody, we're gonna wrap it up here. Let me just give you one more tour of my mess. So got my pack here and a bunch of equipment just kind of lying around, backup gear in some cases. So what I have here is the FT817, which performed well, my battery, and then this tuner, the ATU-100 tuner, and then I have my inline recorder. And so airplane's flying over, but that's all right. So over here we got this the antenna mast I mentioned earlier with the random wire running up. So my thoughts, first of all, I don't know that I would do this on a regular basis, the random wire with the tuner. To me, it's just not efficient, and that was really brought home when I was looking at the monitor and I was seeing the efficiency that the reading of that tuner was indicating, and also how much power I was getting out. In some cases I was getting out 2 watts instead of 5, and I know there will be loss anyway regardless, but 2 watts out in some cases, and then the efficiency down to, in some cases, down to almost 50%. So at the highest it was 80%, so I mean that's still pretty efficient, and it was getting out maybe 3.5 watts. So I guess that's the trade-off, is that with the linked dipole, I know I'm getting a lot more power out than that. I'm getting almost 5 watts, and it's really efficient. There will still be loss, of course, but there is a use case for this, though. And sometimes you're on a summit where, you know, in this case, where the only place to tie down is really at one end, and then you run it to another. And in many cases, this would be the only way to do that. And so it's good to have this as an option. Most of the time, though, I'd run the antenna up and have the feed line coming right down near the mast and sit underneath the mast, and then have a dipole going in each direction. So most of the time you can make that happen. I don't like the BNC connectors, as I said, the lack of BNC connectors. But you know, it's a good tuner, and it'll definitely has its place. I guess I should say. I've heard that the plug-in where you charge this thing is right here. This USB plug-in. Mine's a USB-C, but I know that some of them are the micro USB, and there's been problems with those having shorts in them. So I guess be aware of that too. I don't know. I think that I would, if you have want to try out a random wire, if you have a case for it, I think this would be an okay antenna tuner. It's nice because it's an automatic tuner instead of manual. But I don't mind just going through and doing the manual adjustments. In some cases, I think you can be a little bit more exact with it and stuff, and maybe squeeze a little bit more out. But in the end, it really doesn't matter too much whether your SWR is a 1.1 to 1 or a 1.5 to 1. It's not that big a difference. So I think I'm going to wrap up here. I'm going to go do another summit today. Won't record that one though. I'll just kind of go enjoy it and have fun up there and not have to worry about all the recording and videoing and all that. But thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your support for this channel, and we will be out doing more summits on the air activations coming up soon. As soon as we can get all the snow melted and the mud kind of dried up a little bit, we'll be out in full force, because I want to get 4,000 activator points as soon as I can, hopefully this spring. I'm close. I only need about 125 more, so I'm going to work real hard to reach that next milestone. And of course, I'm trying to get a bunch of unique summits that I haven't done before. This counts as one, and the one I'm doing next will be one. And my goal is to have 250 unique summits here in the next year or two, and that might be quite a challenge, but I'm gonna go for it. So thank you for joining. I appreciate you coming and following along on my Summits on the Air activations, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.